to do this first, a daily personal development podcast that focuses on science-backed, actionable steps towards your best year ever. Hi, I'm Sandy, your host. It is officially 69 days away from 2024. Wow. Now more than ever, we must learn the nuanced differences between pivoting and flexibility. But firstly, let's acknowledge that the ability to respond to shifting circumstances can mean the difference between success and failure in any venture. I think we can all agree on that. This is where the concept of pivoting comes into play. Pivoting refers to the significant strategy change designed to test a new approach after the original one has not produced the desired results. Understanding the importance of pivoting is crucial for us, as I know some of you are entrepreneurs like me, others are in leadership, steering organizations towards sustainability and growth. At its core, pivoting involves changing direction in response to either feedback, either market demands, or internal assessments. This does not always mean complete upheaval. Sometimes it's a significant tweak in strategy or in product offerings or in your target demographics. The concept gained prominence in the startup culture, crystallized by Eric Ries in his book, The Lean Startup. Here, pivoting is presented as a way to adapt quickly to feedback, iterate products, and avoid costly missteps. The Lean Startup is a solid book. You should check it out if you haven't. What warrants a pivot, though? Markets are dynamic entities, and they're characterized by consumer preferences, by technological advancements, and competitive pressures. Businesses that cling to outdated models or refuse to pivot risk becoming obsolete. History is littered with obsolete companies that were once major brands like Kodak and Sears. These are two very classic examples. Both brands failed to pivot to digital. The reluctance resulted in its demise as companies like Apple innovated digital photos through their iPhone and Amazon e-commerce. Both revolutionized industries. Another reason to pivot is when you glean changing tastes from your own customers. Customer insights are invaluable for informing business strategies. New products or services may not resonate with customers as expected. A company that actively gathers and analyzes customer feedback can pivot to meet customer needs more effectively. For instance, Instagram initially launched as a location-based check-in app. After observing user behavior, the founders pivoted towards photo sharing, which led to its explosive growth and Meta buying them out. Before they were Meta, though. In a highly competitive landscape, businesses must watch their rivals closely. We've covered this in other podcast episodes. If competitors introduce innovative products or superior services, it may be time to consider a pivot. When Apple first entered the smartphone market, it positioned the iPhone not just as a phone, but as a multifunctional device. This strategy forced competitors to pivot from their traditional approaches to remain relevant. Unfortunately, BlackBerry did not do that, and they're no longer around, really. Recognizing the right time to pivot is crucial. There are several indicators that suggest it's time for a pivotal shift, as we've discussed. One other area that might point to the fact that it's time for a pivot is revenue growth. If that's slowed or plateaued, it might signal the need to explore new strategies or markets. Negative feedback or a decline in customer satisfaction can also indicate that adjustments are necessary. Also, changes in regulations, depending what type of industry and business you're in, or changes in technology, or even competitor strategies can necessitate a pivot. Conduct a thorough analysis of current strategies, market conditions, and customer feedback. Identify what's not working and why. Engage with your stakeholders, including if you have employees, your customers, and industry experts. Consultants can be very helpful in this regard. Gathering perspectives can shed light on potential new directions. After gathering your insights, define the new strategy. What will the pivot look like, and what resources will be needed to execute it? You can do this at a micro scale, and you can do this at a large scale as well. Launch your new strategy on a limited scale first. We call it pilot programs. That's just to basically gauge the effectiveness before a full-scale rollout. Continue to assess the impacts of the pivot. Flexibility is key with this. This is where flexibility can work together with pivoting, but they're not the same things, as I'll share in just a minute. Prepare to make further adjustments based on new data as well. You can't just marry this new pivot, because you may have to pivot again and again. Companies that embrace the idea of pivoting develop a culture of agility. This adaptability is invaluable in today's rapidly changing marketplace. Pivoting often leads to innovative products and services. By staying open to change, you can capitalize on emerging trends and have the potential to tap into new markets, which is awesome. Focusing on customer needs through regular feedback and pivotal strategies can enhance customer satisfaction and loyalty. When customers see a business responding to their preferences, they are more likely to engage and advocate for the brand. They become brand ambassadors. I mean, you can't pay for that type of marketing. Companies that successfully pivot are often better positioned for long-term success. They can better weather economic downturns and shifts in consumer behavior, ensuring sustainability. Real-life examples of successful pivoting is like Slack. Slack, which was originally born out of a gaming company, Tiny Speck, they pivoted from developing an online game which failed to attract significant interest to creating a collaboration tool. The change not only filled a market gap, but also satisfied a growing need for efficient communication in workplaces. And then, of course, Netflix, from its origins. Do you remember Netflix? They were like this mail order, CD, DVD service. Netflix pivoted towards streaming in response to changing consumer habits. This pivotal shift not only allowed them to stay relevant, but also positioned them as a leader in the entertainment industry. In an era defined by rapid change and innovation, the ability to pivot is integral to business strategy. Pivoting is not merely about survival. It's about capitalizing on opportunities that are often only visible by being willing to change direction. It is a position of power. By creating a culture of agility and seeking customer feedback and actively monitoring market trends, businesses can navigate uncertainties and emerge stronger and more innovative and actually aligned with consumer needs better. Overall, pivoting should be seen not as a last resort, which is what I see a lot. They wait to the very last minute when the ship has already sailed. Then it's too late. It should never be seen as a last resort, but really as a proactive, ongoing strategy. Keyword, ongoing. In a world where the only certainty that we truly have is change, organizations that embrace the importance of pivoting stand the best chance of thriving. Embrace the shift. The future of your business really depends on it. But you have to be careful not to confuse pivoting with flexibility. It is not the same thing. Both are essential concepts for businesses navigating change, but they signify different approaches and strategies. Pivoting refers to a significant change in strategy or direction, as we've explained, and usually it's based on feedback, market conditions, or performance. It usually involves altering a core offering or your target market or even your business model. Some of the key characteristics associated with pivoting is a strategic shift. Pivoting is often very deliberate. It's a strategic decision that can involve a substantial change. And then the focus on learning. It often arises from insights gained through experimentation or customer feedback or market analysis. It is a major change. The shift is generally significant. For example, a company moving from a business to business model and pivoting to a business to consumer model, that's a huge focus change. A company that originally offers software for traditional retail outlets, let's say as an example, and pivots to develop an e-commerce solution in response to market trends, that's a pivot. Flexibility, on the other hand, is defined as the ability to adapt to changing circumstances without necessarily altering the core strategy or business model. It encompasses an organization's capacity to respond quickly to new information or unexpected challenges. The difference between pivoting and flexibility cannot be overstated. So, the nature of change. Pivoting means making significant strategic change, where flexibility denotes smaller, incremental adjustments. You're kind of just adjusting, to a change, to market fluctuations, that type of thing. The focus with pivoting is a long-term strategy. It's based on insights, where flexibility is suited for short-term adaptations to immediate needs. Pivoting can reshape the business model. Flexibility generally are operational and do not alter your core. While both pivoting and flexibility are vital for business success, they serve different purposes. Pivoting is about strategic transformation in response, once again, to market signals or failures, to your customers or technology, while flexibility focuses on operational adaptability to ensure responsiveness in day-to-day activities. If you like what you're hearing, don't forget to leave a review. You can also read a full transcript of this podcast episode and all of my podcast episodes on my blog, which is dothisfirst.life. And while you're there, sign up for my weekly newsletter, where I share cutting-edge research on neurosciences, on personal and professional development, as well as brain health. And while you're there, you can also listen to all of my podcast episodes. You can also listen to my podcast episodes on YouTube. Tomorrow we'll continue with our micro series, Finish Strong. Till tomorrow.
Moving past the rain, moving past the pain, or past the color blue. I see power in you. Past wealth it down. Look around, they can't be found. I see a champion in you. I see a champion in you.